Here's my disclaimer. Warning. What you are about to view is a deer being quartered and worked up, turned into usable meat. So, the sight of a red-blooded American male taking something that he has harvested out of God's green earth and turning it into something that he can put on the table to feed his family. If that disgusts you or makes you queasy, first off, grow a set, and second off, you might not want to watch this. Okay, so it was raining, so I just carried this girl inside, and I'm gonna work her up here in my garage. Hopefully this works out. I've not tried I've not tried hanging this thing off of these. We'll see if it falls or not. So here we go. Okay, so basically what I've done so far is I cut a clear around the neck and I yanked the hide going down through with the knife as needed and cutting loose tendons and pieces of meat that were actually attached from the skin to the carcass. And I got down to below the front shoulder and I got that down to the joint, what you would think of as an elbow on a person. I got the hide yanked down to that point. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get a Sawzall, and I'm going to cut at the joint right there, and I'm going to finish caping it. I'm going to finish getting the rest of the hide yanked off, and then I'll start quartering it. Okay, so basically it's a lot easier if you cut the hide around there before you hit it with a saw. This could be done with a hand saw. I just use a Sawzall because I got it. It's a lot easier than hand sawing it. But yeah, you can do that. You could even chop it. But Sawzall makes a good clean cut for the most part. Fair warning, it will stink. Those of y'all who don't know that, don't know working up deer. And this is the way I'm doing. I'm sure there's a million other ways to do this. But now what I did with the front shoulder, the joints on that, I'm going to do the same thing before I get the hide yanked off. I'm going to do the same thing to the back legs. I'm just going to go ahead and cut them off before I get the hide to it. And then after I do that, I'll be ready to start cutting this thing up. Alright, so I didn't end up needing to use the Sawzall on that. I was able to just get the knife around there, cut the joint. Easy enough. Now, All right, get the rest of the hide yanked off. Start tearing this puppy up. All right, something I always do. Sit. Good girl. Give the dog deer leg to go destroy. Keeps it fun for her. Seeing how she doesn't get to go hunting with me. As far as the hide goes, there's a joint recycling place. They buy up fur. It's like fur, root, and recycling. So you take your aluminum cans and hides and ginseng. They buy ginseng and all of that. And so I usually, it's kind of on my way to get to a lot of places around here. So I usually end up taking it into there. They give you like $5 a hide for it, but you know, it's not too bad. You know, it's definitely worth me taking 5 minutes of my time, you know, to drop hides off. And I usually get hides from other folks because they don't want to fool with it. So there's that. And here's this baby. So what I'm going to do, first I'm going to cut out my back strap. You got your back strap right there. I'm going to cut them out. And then I'm going to get inside. I'm going to get to the inner loin. Missed a chunk of hide. Get in there to the inner loin. I'm going to cut that out. The inner loin would basically be like the filet mignon on a deer. Outer loin is like your prime rib. Okay, that's the best I can explain it to someone that doesn't know whitetail. Alright, so I'm going to take that. I'm going to separate the shoulders out. Take the hind legs off. And I'm going to get to the ribs and the neck. I'm going to cut the ribs. Deer ribs are good. You know, just barbecue them like you would regular ribs. Stick them in the crock pot, something like that. Deer ribs are pretty good. I usually just go down through, cut them in big old slabs with the Sawzall. And, you know, right starting about there. Cut them ribs out and cut them into smaller pieces and freeze them usually. And then the neck you can make into a neck roast. You just cut the esophagus out, cut the throat out, and you make it into a good neck roast. Although I'm probably going to chop that stuff up and throw it in the canner, along with pretty much everything other than the sweet meat, which is your inner and outer loin, is going to be canned on this guy, this gal, the doe. And then there's that. So pretty much everything you see here, except for the sweet meat and the ribs, is going to get canned. Let's see where I went in. Right there. And that's where I went out. Right in front of the hind leg. It was at an angle. Shooting. Alright, so I'm going to get to it. Alright, y'all. Alright. So I got it quartered now. Hopefully this helps somebody out there. That's just the way I do it. Maybe you've got a better way. Those of you that do work up there, maybe you got a better way. I don't know. That's the way I do it. Like I said, I like the ribs, and I mean the excess that I did cut off. You could boil that down and make it into stock. If you were really wanting to go at it, I'm sure you could. I don't like the fat. It kind of has a filmy taste. So you might have noticed I trimmed a lot of fat off of it, but grid down situation, I'm sure you could make it into, candles, melt down the tallow, make candles, or what's it called? Soap, that's it. Make it into soap, candles, something like that. Anyway, hope this helped. Big Country, signing out.